These are the best foods that you should eat when you're sick. Hey Wellness Warrior, I'm Dr. Nick Zyrowski, and one of the big questions I'm asked all the time is, what should I be eating when I am sick? A lot of people when they're sick are eating some pretty terrible foods. It's like, well, I don't feel well. Let's just go and eat the thing that makes me feel good, that pleasure food. But what we want to focus on is the foods that are going to make us healthy. So I'm going to talk about the why behind all of these, and of course the best vitamins that you can take when you're sick. I'm going to talk about at the end of this video because we want to get you back up on your feet and on track as soon as possible. So let's go ahead and dive into the first food, and that's going to be soup. Traditionally, many people will go to the grocery store, they'll get some sort of canned soup, that sort of thing, or maybe it's just a canned broth with a noodle, and that's also not very healthy. When we talk about soup, we want to be thinking like a bone broth based soup, in a homemade chicken soup, that type of thing. Lots of vegetables, easy to digest, and also lots of good nutrients in it. And that's the key. Whenever you're sick, you don't want to be putting a lot of food into the system that's going to be a burden and hard to digest. You want to stick to those lighter foods, very digestible, and also micronutrient dense. You think about when an animal is sick, for instance, what do they typically do? They don't eat, they fast, right? That's another thing to take into consideration, is that if you're sick and you don't feel like eating because you have the flu or whatever, don't get too worried about it. Don't force feed yourself. I remember being a kid and it's like, oh my goodness, you need to eat because you're sick. No, no, no. Take a step back. If you don't feel like eating, don't push yourself to do so. But when you do eat, these are the things you focus on. So soups that are healthy, lots of veggies, bone broth based. And then of course the next is bone broth itself. Let's say you don't even put anything else into the soup, you just have broth. And so that bone broth is going to be loaded with good nutrients and collagen. It's very healthy for you. And that of course is going back to your grandmother's soup that was designed to make you good and healthy. There's a lot of truth to that. Let's talk about garlic. Garlic is an antiviral, it is an antifungal, and it's an antibacterial. It's a good thing to slip into your food whenever you're sick. Next on our list is coconut water. Why would we want coconut water? One of the great things about coconut water is it's very rich in potassium. If you're sick and maybe you're vomiting, you have diarrhea, any of those types of things, one of the things that's going to happen is you can actually become depleted in electrolytes. That coconut water is going to be good and really help you get back on your feet, help you feel a lot better. Sometimes I'm traveling and I don't have access to anything else. I'll run to the store if I'm not feeling very well, and coconut water offers a good pick-me-up. Coconut water is good for that purpose. A smoothie. Smoothies are easy to digest. You can put greens in there. You can put some different berries in there that are very micronutrient dense. These are also really good to have when you're sick. And once again, I said from the very beginning, we're thinking, what can we have that's easy to digest, easy on our system, micronutrient dense? Smoothies are great. Tea in the form of green tea is really good. It's rich in polyphenols, anti-inflammatory, so I'm a big fan of that. Ginger is good too. You could put some ginger in your smoothie if that's not your type of thing. You could also have a ginger tea. One of the reasons ginger is so good, especially when you're sick, is because it actually will help with nausea. So you're not feeling very good, that ginger really calms down your stomach and is excellent. Now, when I was a kid, they always turned me on to ginger soda, which was full of high fructose corn syrup and about 35 grams of sugar. Not ideal. We want to stick to a ginger tea or put ginger into maybe a smoothie, as mentioned before. Honey is also excellent, but specifically, you want to use this type of honey. You want to use Manuka honey, which actually has some medicinal and healing benefits to it. It's antiviral, antibacterial, really powerful stuff there. So Manuka honey is good to have when you're sick. It has that benefit. As a matter of fact, we always keep it in my house. Whenever my kids are sick, we will actually use this as part of the therapy to get them well. Now, the best vitamins, what should you be consuming? Because the average person just goes, oh, I'm sick, vitamin C, right? Well, there's more to it than that if you actually want to get well. Vitamin C, great, nothing wrong with that, but there's more you can be doing. Some of the other vitamins you might want to consider beyond vitamin C is going to be vitamin A, vitamin D. You also want to consider zinc, quercetin, and also N-acetylcysteine. These are all great vitamins. I'll put a link in the description below to a immune formula that we use clinically, and it's an immune formula that I keep in my medicine cabinet in my home at all times, because this is something that we use if we think we're going to get sick, we are sick, or we're trying to recover. So this Immune Essentials with all these vitamins in it is really fantastic for that purpose. So this is what you do when you're sick, and this is how you truly get yourself well. I'm Dr. Nick Zyrowski, and if you like this video, watch this video next.